What's going on, everyone? Welcome this fantastic morning to another episode of Outside Shots. If you see EJ kicking his leg, don't worry about it. He's not having a seizure. He's just trying to get rid of some imaginary bug that does not exist. It's just his shoelaces that he didn't tie. That's exactly what it is.
It is a big ass bug flying around
Eric,
here,
do
man.
you see a bug flying around?
I don't see one right now. I did last week in this office.
So
if that bug is still kicking around, good for that bug.
EJ, are you okay?
I'm telling you, it's a bug.
Are you
Okay,
sure?
so
Do we
when
need to
this
call
bug
people for
flies
you?
across the camera, then are you going to apologize? It looks like a moth, man. It didn't look like a wasp. I deal with wasps at my house all the time. They get into my vents. They get into the house. I'm the wasp killer.
Are you?
Oh, I've killed 1,000 of them. They go to the pool, they drink the water, then they go back to their nest. So I follow them to their nest.
Oh, what is wrong with you, man? Just let them live.
No, I follow them to their nest.
What is?
Because their nest is in my backyard. One was by my sauna, by my whirlpool.
Okay.
And let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
They thought they were comfortable hiding in the bush. Till EJ got to their butt. I hit them suckers with that can of Raid. You get the kind of Raid that's that you can get it from like you about 30 feet away.
Yeah.
How you like? Them suckers come out of them bushes like they drunk.
Oh man, you were
please,
something else, man. Well, I mean, I
know
don't really have.
environmentalists going to come after me.
I don't. Ogre McFood says PETA has entered the chat. Does PETA cover insects?
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I don't think insects are covered under the PETA brand. So the PETA organization. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. To see Ogres in the chat, Charles, appreciate you guys all for joining us this early in the morning. We got a lot to get into. Obviously, EJ, did you get a chance to check out Devin Booker's his vlog?
No, with Anthony Edwards.
With everybody, it was.
You know what? I saw
Paralympic
snippets.
vlog.
I didn't get a chance to watch it all. You have it?
I do not have it, but it was fantastic.
Why are you going to tease me with it? You don't have it?
you know. First of all,
What kind of host are you?
All right, so this is where we're going to get into it.
See how he just ignores me and goes south?
This is how we're going to do this, because typically on a day-to-day, Eric, how early does our Sun show up to talk about the show ahead?
Multiple hours.
About 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
1 o'clock every day. We sit down
Minimum.
2 hours before the show to talk about it. But EJ shows up at 9:05, 5 minutes late. Don't have a chance to go through the rundown.
It was
Don't have any opportunity to talk to you about what's going to go on the show.
About the
And I already had that. I had the thing that you sent me. I was ready to go.
Are we connected by wires? Did I know that you already had it?
But I'm saying is like I covered you on that. But you didn't come in here early enough for me to chat with you.
Listen, I'm old, man. Okay?
Now we're going to use this. Okay.
I'm going to tell you what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. I text you at about, 6 a.m.?
About 7:30.
So you know I was up. I was watching my Bears, man. I have to admit. I was watching my show. You know, Bears, Hard Knocks. I was watching.
Okay. All right.
They won out. And then I left out the house at 8:20. Just got caught up in a little traffic.
Okay. I just listen. Admitting your mistakes is the first step to recovery. So I just want to make sure
Well, you have
we're
to
all
say,
on the
you have
same
to
page.
if you're going to do an intervention with me, you got to tell me you love me first.
EJ, you know I love you, man.
Oh, you love me?
Yeah,
Okay, look in my eyes. And
No,
tell
I'm
me.
not. What is wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you? Anyway, I thought it was pretty fascinating. Book was, obviously there was a lot of just a lot of celebrating and a lot of cool behind the scenes
Where do
stuff.
I find that?
You get a nice, it's all over Instagram. Just go to his Instagram.
Oh, okay.
You know, at DBook. Like he has a lot of cool little snippets and stuff, and it was fantastic.
All
But
right.
that wasn't the real. That was kind of the temporary lead into what I really wanted to talk to you about. This is going to be a different episode because as great as Book is and as much love as he's gotten, I want to deter this conversation to Ant Edwards, who had this quote for all to see. And it says, "They say it was tougher back then than it is now, but I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. So that's why when they saw Kobe Bryant, they were like, oh my God, but now everybody has skill." That is Anthony Edwards. EJ, I know you have a lot to say about this. I will start it off, though, by saying that is one of the most egregious takes of all time. The fact that you would actually out loud say that players of your generation had no skill is just the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. You have Hakeem Olajuwon, who had quite possibly the best footwork of all time, still to this day, would absolutely eat in this league.
Yeah.
And players, bigs, to this day, go and train with Hakeem Olajuwon because of that very thing.
Right.
You have guys over the history of this game that were able to execute things that you just don't see very much anymore nowadays. Magic Johnson being one of them, and the tremendous skill at just being able to, fool players with eye movement, ball handling, the whole 9 yards. One of the most impressive people you'll ever see at 6'9" in the league. And then on top of that, obviously you can go down the list, Dr. J, Larry Bird, like Isaiah Thomas, guys that had tremendous skill from top to bottom. And then you're going to sit there and tell me that today's generation has more skill. And what I would say to that is I believe that they're a little bit more intense. They're a little bit more intense with, or a little bit more elevated in terms of like the skill of like 3-point shooting. Maybe that's a little bit more increased. I'll give you maybe that because they basically are born shooting from the outside in, growing up. And back in our day, the 3-point line wasn't as big a deal as it is now, right? So that's just atrocious. If you've ever watched, hell, just watch a damn 3-on-2 fast break in the NBA today. It's nothing like it used to be, and it's absolutely fundamentally flawed almost every single time. So these are the things that kind of frustrate me when I hear stuff like this because it's just absolutely disrespecting, the old guard.
Yeah.
What say you?
You'll see where I'm going with this. Like, I don't even blame Anthony Edwards. And here's why. We have some grown-ass adults in this country right now. This is my little halfway quarter political kind of dig. We have some adults in this country right now that are trying to eliminate history books. They are. And we live in an environment right now where we have young people, Saul, that technology overtakes everything. And so it's a lot of curriculums in school that are being overlooked. The most important curriculum in most countries, other than here, till we get to college at the highest level, is history. It's history. Like, we expect Americans to sit up and debate about America, and yet they don't even know the history of their country. Now, where am I going here? I've said for years, when I was in the Players Association of the NBA, when I went to NBA meetings, when I worked at the rookie orientation, I have said that it should be a class that these young players have to take on the history of the game. Because they don't know the game. They know how to play the game, but they don't know the history. Like, you got people like JJ Redick, who's the coach of the Lakers, you would think, right? It's plumbers and firemen back then. Like, all these comments that you get from these guys that I understand, respect your era, love your era. That's fine. But you have to also look back at the history. Like, you and I would not be sitting here comfortably right now if it wasn't for great activists back in the late 50s and 60s.
Sure.
We wouldn't be sitting here.
No.
So history plays an important part, man, of everything. And it just blows me away that when I hear these young guys say stuff, and Anthony Edwards, what comes out of his mouth, he thinks he's the new Charles Barkley. I think he's a good quote master. He's funny. But I think he's going overboard, and now his jokes and his comments are starting to sound corny. And he's only 23 years old. He was born in what, 2001, 2003? So I understand it. Like, I'm not going to hold it against him. I hold it against the adults that have taken history away and not given value to it to where they understand the game. All these guys that come into the league, they should know. He made a comment. He said, well, you know, I haven't seen much basketball. Well, how in the hell can you freaking comment on it then? If you haven't seen much ball back from the day, how can you comment, man? You just gonna grab Michael Jordan, a guy that you didn't even see play. Because if you saw Michael Jordan play, you saw Hakeem play. You saw Clyde Drexler play. You saw Steve Nash play years from then. You saw these guys play. You saw them. You saw Shaq play then. If you saw Michael, or you just saw the highlights of Michael, or you just grabbed on the fact that his shoes, but you really didn't know the backstory of Michael. I would tend to believe that Anthony Edwards doesn't even know the backstory of Michael Jordan. That's sad.
It is sad.
And I continually say that, and these young guys come out with these asinine comments. Magic Johnson is the most beautiful basketball player I have ever seen on a basketball court. That doesn't mean that I think he's better than everybody, even though in my mind, I think he is the GOAT right now. I won't give the GOAT to, say, i.e. LeBron, because he's still playing. So Magic is my GOAT right now because he made the game beautiful, man. Yeah. Like, when he was on the court, you saw everybody. It's like a great movie. Like, it just wasn't one actor that stole everything. No, it was everybody. And Magic made Worthy. Like, he put him in line to get an Academy Award. Kareem lifted him up higher as an older man. Byron Scott, Kurt Rambis, they started calling him Superman. All these, Michael Cooper, he's getting ready to make the Hall of Fame. Like, Magic made the game beautiful. That's a skill.
It is a skill.
That's a skill. He's one of the greatest passers ever. For him to say that, and hearing the legend of Larry Bird, okay, and the most dominant white ball player in the history of basketball, and how he used to pass the ball, and how slow as he was, but he still had one of the quickest first steps, and he can just make people look silly, and that's a skill. What are you talking about? So I don't blame him totally. I blame the people that taught him. I blame the people that held him back from really understanding the history of the game. And it's an embarrassment. And they got to get better with it.
Hey, listen, I'm right there with you. I really am. I think, when you say those kind of things, you're pinpointing and you're trying to isolate specific players by elevating them and pushing everybody else down. But you're also completely omitting guys like Dennis Rodman, who is one of the most skilled rebounders you will ever see in this league to this day. And if Dennis Rodman was playing in today's game, he'd be just as effective as he was back in the day. That's just an absolute fact. You look at Bill Russell. Bill Russell used to talk about, after a little while, he was so good at blocking shots that he realized, like, why would I block a shot out of bounds if I could just block the shot in a way to be able to secure it and give it to my teammates and let them get out and run. Like, that's a skill. Mm-hmm. DeAndre Ayton reminded me a little bit of that Bill Russell aesthetic at the U of A, because, and this is why I thought DA was going to be on another level, because if you watch DA get rebounds in college, there was opportunities for the other team to get rebounds, and DA was so skilled that he was able to basically flip the ball up multiple times in order to get it in position for him to come down with the rebound and get it away from that's a skill, right? And that's a skill that is derived from the greats of the past, like a Dennis Rodman, like Bill Russell. And so I just don't understand why we're just going to completely omit the OGs of the past in order to elevate the game today. I think that there's a lot of tremendous players in today's game. I think that's undisputed, right? And there's a lot of guys that have a lot of talent in the league, for sure. But there are also a lot of players in the league that are there because their athleticism has dictated that they got to be in the NBA. But their skill level isn't to the degree it should be to be a good or great player. And I think that inherently is also a skill. Your work ethic is also a skill. It's something that you have to completely work on day in, day out. And a lot of the players back in the day, that's all they did. They didn't have the fancy training that today's athletes have. So when you're talking skill, I would say that there's more of a natural skill because it was kind of either self-taught or basically drill-oriented back in the day than it was, athletically enhanced performance to try and get to those skill marks. And so that's where Ant kind of loses me.
Yeah. What I would say to Anthony Edwards if I was sitting in front of him is I want to give and you were in the military, okay? And I'll just give this example. If you were in battle, would you like to fight in close quarters or you like to fight where you had distance away?
Say that again?
If you were fighting, okay?
Like fist fighting?
You like, no. Fighting, like the art of war, whatever.
Sure.
Would you like to be in close quarters, like having to go into homes and find the enemy? Or would you rather be away where you got planes doing their damage over the top?
I was in the Air Force, so you already know what I was saying.
Exactly, right? Because you want to do what? Make sure that you can save lives. Okay, so I'm not comparing basketball to the art of war. I'm just using an example. So in basketball, back in the day, as he's talking, the three-point line was not a weapon. Everything was done inside the three.
Yes.
So it made the court much more tougher to move around. You had 10 bodies in there, big bodies in there fighting. So what did they do? We had to have a skill to be able to get open. We used up and outs, V cuts. We used our teammates to get open. We knew how to just face up, triple threat, instead of stepping back like a lot of these young guys do, and they're freaking out of bounds. How many times do we see them step back and out of bounds? How many times? Okay, what we did is a triple threat. Our first step was forward to drive the defender back because why? We knew we didn't have much room to operate. We couldn't. We didn't catch the ball outside the three. 2 dribbles back in our day with hand checking, you couldn't get to the rim. All right, so you had to get as close as you can, and that's getting open with different cuts to get open, holding your man off. Once you caught it, triple threat, now 1 dribble can get you to the rim. That's a skill. That's a skill. We had to learn to operate in close quarters. I would rather operate in the plains like he or have to go through some building and peeking around corners, okay? Because that's a skill. They don't play that way in today's game. They shoot from way out. That's their skill. And then they got all the dribbling. And as I told a guy yesterday, he said, well, guys are more skilled today. I said, how many points you get for dribbling? 0. 0. How many points you get for jumping? 0. I couldn't jump over a nickel, but I scored a total of over 20,000 points in my career, regular season and playoffs. I couldn't jump. I had about 15 dunks in my career. It's a skill. What do you mean? Our skill back in the day is better than today. IQ is better because we had to use our head. We had to navigate. You cut through the lane back in our game, you got knocked on your butt. They got rules now. You can't touch a guy cutting through the lane. So our ability to navigate the physicality, Michael Jordan, remember they called it Jordan rules. Detroit was kicking his butt. Yeah. Michael got smarter. Michael said, you know what? I can't keep jumping over people. So you know what? I'm going to improve my game. And that was everybody. It just wasn't Michael. And lastly, I'll tell Anthony Edwards this. And I'd tell him to his face, oh, trust me, I would, because he's a young dude. I think he's going to be a tremendous basketball player. Don't get me wrong. I think he can be special. He ain't special right now compared to Clyde Drexler.
Mm-hmm.
Clyde Drexler eat your lunch. George Gervin will have you babbling to yourself. Okay? That's how good they were. Dwayne Wade wear you out right now, based on where you are now, and Dwayne Wade would wear you out. Those are skill positions that you played. Stop, man. Like, guy won a gold medal. He goes a little deep in the playoffs, and all of a sudden, he's getting the attention, and all of a sudden he feels he's there. You're not there at 23, man. It's just not. And I'd tell him that right to his face.
Again, I think there's evolutions to this. Jason in the chat says, FYI, in most professions, new practitioners are way more skilled, quote unquote. It's called progress. No, I get it. I'm not. Today's player, I will say this: today's player, especially growing up, and the amount of attention that is paid to the AAU circuits, the development in those respects. They have more opportunity to be able to play in these games and develop skills in those kind of ways, as opposed to the fundamentals. And I think you can make an argument that the fundamentals as a skill are worse today than they were back in those days. And so there's kind of a crossover. Athletic skill, yes, I do believe is probably better today. It's not probably, it is better today overall. Like not when we're talking about the elite of the elite, I think it's relatively the same. But when you're talking about overall, I think, yes, your 12th man on the lineup is more athletically skilled than back in the day, just because of all the things that are at their disposal. So I won't knock that at all. But I will.
And things they're allowed to do.
Yes, and the things they're allowed to do. The changes of the game.
We weren't allowed to take threes like they do now. But if we were, I would flat out outshoot anybody in today's game from three, because I would have worked on it every day. I didn't, because I wasn't allowed to do it. So don't tell me.
You think you would have outshot like Steph Curry and KD?
I would have been right up there with them, dude.
You think so?
Right up there with them.
But you almost lost to Steph as a 7-year-old.
No, we weren't shooting threes. We weren't shooting threes. And I went to my skill set where I straight gangstered his ass and backed him down. All right.
But you used your athletic power.
Hold on.
That's exactly it.
Oh, wait. We got somebody from the second deck.
Hold on. He was out shooting you, and then you backed down a 7-year-old, Eddie. I mean, come on, man.
I won.
I'll give you that.
So until he did not win, there's that damn bug I told you. Okay, he did not win. Okay, that's how you do it. That's my skill. I'm smart. These dudes today, you know what they'll do? They'll keep shooting the damn brick. Well, that's the difference. Like, I'll realize that I'm not making it. Like, some of these dudes can't, and they keep jacking it up. You forgot that Steph in the first 4 games was shooting freaking 26% from three. Until he finally got smart. So go back in your room.
Yeah, he did walk off and just go hide. Yeah, I mean, listen, Jason in the chat also said, we got real get off my lawn vibes in here.
You know what, Jason? I'm going to tell you something, man. I done seen a number of your quotes already, right? All right? Let me tell you something. Roll it back. It's about a little ways down. Roll that back. And he's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, hit right there. Most professions, new practitioners are way more skilled. Listen, Jason, you're right in regards to things that go on in the world, right? And that basketball has never changed. The orange ball in the damn rim. It doesn't matter how the ball goes from your hand to the rim. Skilled, what does that mean? Seriously, they're not shooting a better percentage than we did back in the day. Go do your research. They're not. Okay, so they're allowed to take threes. But that doesn't mean that they're more skilled. Basketball is a different animal, man. It's a different animal. Football, baseball, different animal. Analytics has tried to mess it up. That's why baseball players can't even hit the ball now. They mess with them so much that you can make a $200 million and bat below the Mendoza line now in baseball. Because they don't even pay attention to it anymore. Back in our day, it was important. If you didn't shoot anywhere, if you was a shooter like me and you didn't shoot anywhere from 48 to 50%, then you're failing. Today's game, you can shoot 42% and win an MVP like Allen Iverson did. So is the skill better, or do you guys allow them more mistakes? Huh, Jason?
Ooh. I mean,
Think about that now.
you ain't have to do the
Are
answer
you
like that,
allowing
though.
more mistakes and making more excuses? Because in the past, if you didn't shoot 48 and I was taking most shots on the team, I would get traded. So don't give me that it's more skilled right now. Yeah, it's more visibly beautiful to watch. Crossing the guy over, and then the guy falls, and then the crowd be like, oh, and then he shoots a damn brick. Ball in basket, Jason. I'm not there for the makeup, okay? I don't even like people that wear makeup. I tell women that in a minute. You're more beautiful when you don't have damn makeup on, okay? All right? Want to see you naturally, Jason. Natural, baby.
What is happening right now?
Natural, Jason.
I don't know if
Okay.
I've ever heard that type of segue before, ever in my entire life.
Where did we just go
They
right now?
cross them over, they make them fall, they miss the shot, and I don't like it when women wear makeup.
Oh,
They can
wow.
wear makeup, but not too much, because the natural beauty is what's beautiful.
Okay.
You get me?
All right,
That's just how I view it.
All right, we have a couple things. Oh, there's the bug, Eddie. There you
Man,
go.
no, I
I
already told
I
you.
apologize. Jason, I will give Jason, his opportunity to retort. FYI, I'm old enough to have watched you, and I love 80s, 90s basketball. I just think that all the eras are fun and think they are better than the others.
I agree with that, Jason. Jason, I agree with that one.
Look at that.
Of course, you're supposed to be proud of your era.
Harmony.
Come on, man. Without a doubt. But he made a statement earlier. He said that we are more critical of, and he said
The old guard
he
is
brought
more
up
critical.
TNT.
Yeah.
And said, that's not true. I have watched every era of basketball of your life. I grew up loving the game. So I was watching the game when Havlicek and Russell was playing, and then when Dr. J in the 70s and all those guys, Malone, Moses Malone, all of them. And then I played in the 80s, and I've been working in basketball for 40 freaking years. I've seen every era. I watch games every day. I have a 3-hour radio show every day. SiriusXM, I'm hosting this week, by the way. The last day today, check it out. 1 to 4 Pacific time, NBA radio. So don't tell me. We all watch the game.
The Empire Jeff TV had a comment. He says, "What level of rotational player would you be today, Eddie?" Respectfully, just asking, not
Rotational.
trolling.
Listen.
Wait. Let me finish. Respectfully, just asking, not trolling. Do you think you would start in this era, or would you be a 6 to 8 guy?
He trolling.
I mean, I think that's a legit question.
Man, let me tell you something.
Why? Wait, why do you think he's trolling?
6 to 8 guy?
You were a 6 to 8 guy in your era.
Because it was a different game. It was a different game.
I mean, I don't think he's trolling by
the
asking that.
rules were different. Like, for instance, I told you, I couldn't jump over a nickel.
Yes.
Okay? But I could outrun anybody.
Okay.
Right? And I started my first 5 years in the league and averaged over 20 a game. And was second on my team in rebounding. Go look at the numbers. Okay? So let's get this straight. It was a situation to where two things. One, they didn't want to pay me in Sacramento. And two, I thought it was best in the way that I did come off the bench because of the way our team was, and I did, but I still played 30-something minutes a game.
So do you think you would start today then?
In today's game,
Yeah.
man, I'd average 25. Easy. You know why? Because one, and knowing what I know, how to get open, then they can't touch me. I can turn and face you, and you can't touch me? And you gonna let me get that jump off? Man, I'll light you up, man. It'd be like a day at the freaking beach. Are you freaking kidding me? Easy 25. Easy. I averaged 20. Look, I averaged 22 in an era of hand checking, okay, and played 27 minutes a game. 27 minutes a game, and I averaged 22. So go do your per 36 on that.
Eddie, I agree you'd start, but I got to call you on something. You said if you shot under 48%, you would have been traded.
Uh-oh.
You did that 12 times in your career out of the 19 years.
Oh, no.
You only got traded 6.
Oh,
So not
How
every
often?
time.
Okay, but hold up. I played 17 freaking years, and how many of those years was after my prime? Because I stayed around and stole.
I thought your prime was all 17 of those
No,
years.
no, it's
so
not.
that's what
No,
I
it's not.
counted.
No, it's not. So why don't you go back and why don't you run off about a 7-year stretch?
That's fair. From the late 80s to the early 90s,
What did I shoot?
you were in the 48% range.
Thank
and
you.
1 year, 49%.
Exactly.
I'll give you that.
That's it.
I'll give you that.
That's it. So as you get older in the league, your numbers will go down. But when you're talking about prime, that's what I had.
Well, they only
There you
traded
go.
you 6 times.
They
so,
didn't
yeah.
trade me 6 times. I didn't get traded 6
No,
times.
well, then Basketball Reference lies. I'm just
I
gonna
didn't get
say
traded 6 times. See, you got to get your facts right. I told them I wanted out. That's the difference.
You requested a trade.
That's the difference.
Eddie traded the
Now
franchise.
go back. now go back in that room and watch some more YouTube and eat some popcorn and look at EJ videos.
Jason said, would you have started in the peach basket era? Hey, listen. I don't know what just happened here. I felt like we Espo coming in here trying to drop bombs, and it's
But
hey,
you know
it
what?
is
He
it
comes
is.
in here and he leaves. Why don't you get on camera? I'll light you up.
Espo notorious, afraid of the mic.
Yeah. You've never
No,
seen
with
Espo.
me.
Never.
See you next week.
Oh, he said, I'll see you next
So,
week.
Why you can't show me now? Because you got your pajamas on?
I'll set up a chair.
What is going on right now?
No, we can do this next week, Eddie. I'll sit
What, you
right
got to
here.
go do your homework or something?
I got a job to do. So.
Eddie, you gotta focus, man. Don't worry about the hecklers over here, man.
I will grab them and pull them in here so they can see
About
it.
the water boys.
So they can see that little pajama
They
outfit
see,
he
they
got
see him
on.
every single day.
He'll be on
He's-
camera.
he'll be
at
on
3
camera in
o'clock
like 3
in that
o'clock today,
outfit.
yeah.
Ain't nobody paying attention
right.
to him. I didn't watch it. I haven't watched him yet. What do you mean on camera? I haven't watched him.
Clearly,
I didn't even know he was on camera.
before we get to KD here in a little second, I do want to say that Espo is no longer in Eddie's inner circle, but you could be part of the inner circle by going to download the app. The Circle K Inner Circle app is fantastic. Obviously, we've said it millions of times. You got to back the K by getting the Inner Circle app. So let's go. Download the Inner Circle app. You get yourself up to 79 cents off on drinks, or you can get a drink for 79 cents. If you use the Inner Circle app and put your phone number in, you get it for 69 cents, which is nice. And then on top of that, your first 5 fill-ups are at 25 cents off per gallon, which is fantastic. And then you can save up to 3 to 5 cents off per gallon after that. So the Inner Circle app is where it's at. It has a bunch of special deals. You get 5 drinks for free as well, just for signing up. So go download the Inner Circle app today and make sure you go to circlek.com for more details. All right. Kevin Durant. Yeah, we just had a lot of, back and forth and vitriol and stuff like that. There's a clip that I want to play for you, Eddie. And this clip is more to really talk about Kevin Durant in a way that is been very somewhat popular. A lot of people like to disrespect Kevin Durant. A lot of people are anti-KD in terms of like being, trying to put him down because of the whole Golden State thing, or saying that he's up in his feels because he's always tweeting at people and all this other stuff. And this clip kind of exemplifies that.
What can we expect from you and the Phoenix Suns this year?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, you
said
can't
that,
say
yo?
something every time KD got
Stand
something
up,
to say, or I'm
yo.
gonna
Stand
throw-
up. Who said that?
Yeah.
Y'all know he gonna say something back now.
Exactly. You know he gonna send
Oh,
some shots
please.
back.
The Nova Knicks. Yeah, I know y'all excited. Oh, man. Stop
Tell him. All right. So, hey.
I first of all, I just think that the amount of disrespect that Kevin Durant gets is insane to me, especially considering he is one of the greatest basketball players to ever walk the planet. He's got a skill set for a 7-footer that we just have not seen very much before. And for somebody in the crowd, now this crowd was pretty rambunctious. They were pretty into it. It was at Fanatics Fest, and for him to kind of blurt out at KD like that, I just thought that was highly disrespectful. But it also exemplifies what KD does deal with. And from my perspective, Kevin Durant going at somebody on Twitter, I'm cool with, because at some point, like, what's wrong with it? You're on social and you're calling this guy out, or you're dogging him out for whatever reason, and he's responding to you, or he's defending himself. Like, I just don't understand, like, why. I don't understand why he gets as much flack as he really does. I really don't.
Well, I think social networking is just, a lot of young people think it's the greatest invention ever. I like it as an invention, but I think it's irritating at times. But it's a necessary evil just based on today's world. And KD is always on it. I'm telling you, he's always on it.
I know.
I see him walking around when we're on the road. His head is down looking at his phone. He enjoys it, as a lot of these guys do. But I think KD enjoys it more than anybody. I think he does his research, so to speak, through social networking. He picks and chooses the people he wants to respond to. He's responded to me over the years. And, you know, I think it's cool. And I think a lot of those people that were in that audience, they follow KD. They get interactions with him. And so it's a way of just prodding them. They know if they say something, they can get a response out of them. Like, opposite that is LeBron. He never responds. Think about this. Rarely does he ever respond to anybody that heckles him. He'll tweet something and you go below in his responses. I mean, people just trying to egg him on. And he never responds. Skip Bayless, bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's my little dig. Skip Bayless tried to get a response out of him for years. Couldn't do it. But KD will respond. And then they know it. And so now they're gonna egg him on. But I think he enjoys it. I don't think it's a negative with KD. I think he enjoys it, man. I think he gets a kick out of it.
I think he does. I think he gets a kick out of it too. But I do think that there's some people that just kind of go over the line, and I do they disrespect him.
It's because Saul. I told you, water boys and couch potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay, water boys are kind of, they know the game a little bit, but they just never put forth the effort to be able to succeed at it and think they know everything. And then you got the couch potato that just never does anything. He just lays around and he's watching games and he thinks he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's envious. And so every time something comes up negative, he's going to jump on it because that's how he feels every day that he wakes up and goes and lays on the couch. Now, if you're not a water boy and a couch potato, that statement is not for you. But it's a lot of people out there that's like that. And in every walk of conversation on social networking, it's just not sports.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I have people tell me all the time, shut up and dribble. Yet I paid more taxes than you and your whole entire damn family. But I got to shut up and dribble. Really? So it's like I shouldn't be interested in what happens in our world because I'm an athlete. So, but that's what we get. And so what do? You either ignore it or you respond. I'll respond sometimes.
I know. I've seen you respond.
Yeah.
I've seen you respond. Hey, listen, I have no problem for people wanting to defend themselves. I don't have the energy for it myself. So when I post something and somebody comes at me, I just ignore them or I block them or I mute them. I don't really give a shit. Like I just don't have the time or the energy to deal with crazy, stupid foolishness, really. And that's the thing that I like for somebody just to, have something inside them that just wants to shout from an audience. Something negative. It's just crazy. It's like save your energy for something else that's worthwhile.
Charles Coulter, you're right. I always regurgitate great people. Martin Luther King, okay? Malcolm X, Obama, down the line, Larry Bird. I say his damn name all the time. Yeah. All great people, I regurgitate their name. So, yeah, if I say LeBron's name a lot, it's because he's great. Why don't you learn that, Charles? It'll help you.
T earlier also had a comment about 7-footers right there. It says, you never seen a 7-footer do what KD does? Let's not act like it's something we saw before. Closest thing from before him was Ralph Sampson. I probably would have went with Dirk Nowitzki. 7-footer who could shoot from the outside, could play down low, he could come off screens, could handle the ball. Like I would have given you Dirk Nowitzki. So we have seen something close. I wouldn't say it's similar because KD I think is a little bit more versatile than Dirk was.
He's better than Dirk.
Yeah, for sure. And so but it's not like we have to do this where degrees of separation and stuff like that. So it's just what it is.
He'll never live down, obviously, leaving Oklahoma City. But in everybody's life, there's certain things that people will never let you forget. One thing I just continually remind people, the one thing that impressed me about KD and all of that situation, and I was one of them ones that didn't want him to leave either, is just what he went and did.
Yeah.
He accomplished his mission, people. Not only did he win back-to-back titles, he was the finals MVP on a talented basketball team. And then to me, that shuts you up. The second year, I told people, I said, if he does it back-to-back, shut up. Because Golden State was not winning if it wasn't for him. He saved them. Draymond went out in the car, was crying at 2016. Oh, come on, KD, please come join us.
Because he knew he was screwed up.
Come join us. So I don't think they would have beaten Cleveland if they did not get KD.
The thing that I think people overlook about Kevin Durant going from OKC to Golden State is this culture that NBA fans built, what dictated who was great and who was not. And you couldn't be in the conversation unless you won a title. And when you're talking about some of the greatest players of all time, and the first one that always pops into my mind is Charles Barkley, and how he continuously gets, put down because he didn't win that title. But you could argue he was one of the greatest power forwards of all time during his era. And, and everybody putting that as like the chief separator of everybody. And KD did everything at that point at OKC. He had accomplished everything you need to do in the league. He won an MVP. He was all NBA. He was, I believe he won a scoring title. Like he did all that. And he still was getting put down because he didn't win a title. So he's like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go win a title. And then he wins 2 titles and everybody puts him down because, you took the easy way out. Man, miss me with that. Then don't make that as a criteria.
Yeah.
Like, don't make that as a criteria. So I absolutely do not think badly of KD for going to the Warriors and winning a title because he got that checkbox, marked and he moved on.
We're in a world now, man, where everything you say is brought back as a negative when people want to use something against you. It's just it's where we live right now, and social networking is the reason. Like it's a history book in front of your eyes that helps you because you can just bookmark stuff and just go back. If you're willing to pay the whatever he charges now for Twitter, he even lets you have folders. No, I'm not paying for it.
Honcho said Golden State will never went back to the finals without KD. Yes, they did. They won a championship literally without KD 2 years ago that by beating Boston. Steph Curry was the MVP. So that's not correct. And then T follow up and says Dirk is nice, but he can't dribble like KD. Shooting is there, but Dirk's defense wasn't as good. But I get where you're getting at. So again, I'm not saying that he was better than KD at all, but I'm just saying we've seen a similar type thing with basically 1 or 2 individuals, and that's about it.
That part drives me nuts.
What?
Because they said, like you say, he can't dribble. Like, a dribble in basketball, unless you're a creator, and most guys aren't creators, right? So a dribble in basketball is to get you the perfect position so you can execute what is the hardest thing to do in the game, and that's put the orange ball in the basket. So I wasn't a great dribbler, but I knew how to get to my spot with 1 and 2 dribbles. That's all I needed. I wasn't a facilitator. And I thought I was I think I was an average, a little bit above average passer. I thought I'll find the right guy, I'll make the right pass. I wasn't fancy, but I knew what the right pass was, right? So I wasn't going to overly try to put myself in position to have to create because that wasn't my game. But people really overvalue the dribble. The dribble is only great when you can catch it in your range, and now you only need to put it down once or twice. Because if you're putting it down 3 times, what happens is you get the attention of the ants.
Mm-hmm.
Like dropping food, they're all gonna come. So the 2 dribbles is enough to get to where you need to go and execute your shot. The fancy dribbling and all that, go watch the Globetrotters, man. How long did AN1 last?
Yeah,
That didn't last
about
too
a decade.
long. Yeah. Because you know why? Because we go watch them. We watch them do all that damn dribbling, skip the Malou and all that fancy dribbling. They making people fall. And then when they went up to shoot it, they freaking hit the damn side of the backboard. Like, the beautiful part of basketball is executing something to get to your result, man. And Jordan learned that at the end of his career. Once he realized people weren't going to keep letting him dunk on him,
Mm-hmm.
what did he do? Fade away.
Yep.
1 dribble left, 2 dribbles right, jumper. Kobe, same thing. That was a beautiful part of their game. It wasn't the fancy stuff, you know? And people need to get away from that. Like, that part of basketball is not beautiful to me. It's execution, man. Watch the execution part of the game.
All right. Well, hey, I do not disagree with you at all. By the way, did you know that I played with one of those guys that was on an N1 mixtape tour?
Who? Which one?
Go Get It.
Go Get It?
Tony Jones.
What did he go get?
He was one of those alley-oop guys, basically, just dunking
Yeah,
everything.
he
at the
went to
rim.
go, so that's why he said go get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he used to go, he's an alley-oop dude.
Yeah.
Throwing the ball up, he go get it.
Yep.
Then if he wasn't anywhere near the rim, what happened?
I mean, you know.
Coach said, go get your ass on the bench. Go get your ass on the bench.
Listen, no. Tony wasn't like that, man. Tony's my guy. We played together in high school.
I don't care. He can
Tony
be
is
your
the
guy.
Hey, I will say this: Tony Jones is the single reason why we were able to make it to the state semifinals, because he saved our ass in overtime against St.
What, he
Mary's in
went
the
and got
quarterfinals.
it? You threw him a
Yeah,
ball?
got a tip dunk that just changed the whole game.
Only damn thing. Other than that, boy, it's just like nothing.
No, come on.
Like,
now.
where's Tony?
He was a rebounder. He was a good rebounder.
Yeah.
Could
Like
shoot
I
mid-range.
said, yeah, okay. Well, you can tell me he can shoot.
I mean, he could shoot mid-range. He was good. He was a good player. Played in college and everything. So, anyway.
All right, Tony. I'm sorry, Tony. I never saw you play.
You were not familiar with this game. Before we wrap it all up, I do want to ask one question. This is the say what section of the drill. I saw a tweet today, and since you're a Chicago guy, and you did mention this right off the top, I wanted to bring this up. There was a tweet by a guy that said, do you think as a Chicago Bears fan, you would be happy if Caleb Williams ends up having the same career as Russell Wilson? And when I saw that, I lost my mind. Russell Wilson disrespect is absolutely insane. The guy went to 9 Pro Bowls. The guy should have won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah, if he handed the damn ball off.
Handed the ball off, but instead
he should have been man enough to say, "Coach, no, I'm handing the ball off."
And he won 1 Super Bowl, almost won another. He's been all pro. Like, he's been like, he's going to go into the Hall of Fame. What are we doing here? As a Bears fan, would you be happy if Caleb Williams won you a Super Bowl, got to the Pro Bowl 9 times, and almost won you another one?
No, I'm greedy.
Oh, this guy.
We already won a Super Bowl.
Oh, come on.
We already won a Super Bowl.
You have never had a quarterback worth a damn.
Jim McMahon was my boy. Don't you tell me that. Jim McMahon. And let me tell you something. If Mike Ditka hadn't freaking messed up the damn team with his ego, he let go of Buddy Ryan, all right? And he started acting all crazy, doing all these damn commercials, but he didn't want the players doing the commercials. And he lost sight of who he was as a coach. And if he lost Wilbur Marshall, he lost all these top players because he thought it was all about him and he could regurgitate another team. Don't get me started. Don't freaking get me started. We would have won multiple freaking Super Bowls. That was one of the most devastating football teams you ever want to see. They would win games just with their damn defense. And he messed it up with his damn ego. Don't you get me started. Okay? Don't you dare.
So are you saying...
Caleb Williams, in my estimation, I wanted... Look, Justin Fields, I was a Justin Fields fan.
But
I had
why?
no issue because I saw it. They never had any receivers around him. They never did. Now they got 3. They get arguably the best receiving corps in football now. He never had that. They got Swift in the backfield. Come on, man. They got Odunze. They got Allen. They got Moore. They got tremendous. They got what's his name? The tight end, Connect. I mean, they got everybody. He didn't have that. Justin Fields didn't have that. But I do like Caleb Williams. I think he's special, man. Like, I look, he got some Patrick Mahomes in him. Without a doubt, he does. Now, you said that pass he threw last week?
Oh, yeah.
He got some Patrick Mahomes. No, I want multiple. Now, the first one, I'm going to jump up and down, but I think that kid is capable, man. He's a great leader, too. I'm watching that Hard Knocks. I was watching it this morning. I tell you, that's why I was late.
I don't disagree with you. I think you're being a little greedy if you feel like you need more than just one Super Bowl to validate him being a number one overall draft pick.
I showed up here with what on?
I would absolutely love if Kyler Murray got us 1 Super Bowl. I don't give a damn. I don't care.
No.
Also, Honcho, don't be disrespectful in this chat right now. That is absolutely just disrespectful. Come on. And that's not even disrespectful to Espo. But come on, man.
I think Espo would beat you.
EJ, you are full of shit.
You know what?
You know that. You absolutely know that.
I think he might be. You know why? Because the only way he can beat you is he tickle you while you dribbling. And he looks like a dude that likes to tickle people. He just tickle you.
I don't even know where to go with this. Espo, if we played one-on-one, do you ever imagine trying to tickle me?
No, I just kick you in the knee. I know that'd take you out pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't even have any legs. Your legs not even 2 feet tall. You kick somebody. You can stand a foot in front of me and try to kick me, and you'll fall on your back because you'll miss.
You talk a lot of shit for a guy that's pushing 70. You know that?
I'm pushing 66. And don't look, but you see these biceps.
I see it.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So to understand, it ain't about your age; it's about how you look.
Oh my God!
Well, I've never looked good, so I don't have to worry about that. So.
Yeah, I just listen. I'm not here for that. Come on, guys. What are we doing
I
here?
think Espo would beat you.
EJ, you're foolish. You're only saying that because you want to fucking try and be an instigator.
You got bad knees.
I could have no legs, and I would still beat Espo.
Okay, so you're
in basketball. God damn it!
You're so confident that you'll beat Espo that I shut you out.
I mean, I'm not going to fight you on that because you know what? I understand my ability, and I understand where I'm at with my legs. but no, like, come on, like, listen, like, Espo is listen, and to be fair to Espo, there's a lot of other things that he might beat me at. Like, there's other things that we could be competitive at.
What's that?
He beat me in broomball.
Checkers. Nothing athletic.
Are you really trying to go to like the intelligence angle here? Is that what you like, checkers or chess or whatever? Is that what you're trying to do?
What? Espo didn't play no sports.
EJ, you know what? I'm almost on the verge of saying, you know what? Not only would I beat Espo, I would beat you.
You beat me at basketball?
I feel like I would. Because apparently we got to tickle each other to make sure that he like. Come on,
used to be ticklish. I'm not ticklish anymore, so that wouldn't bother me.
Hey, listen, I just feel like that would be the most upsetting one-on-one basketball game of all time. Whether it be me versus Espo or me versus EJ, it doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of dudes trying to hobble around a basketball court.
Well, I'm so into this. I'm ready to
You ain't gonna back me down.
I don't need to back you down. I'll just shoot this jumper right in your grill. You little dude. I ain't worried about you blocking my shot.
How many times you get called a little dude in your life, Saul?
Not very many. Definitely not very many. All right. Anyway, the foolishness has begun. We appreciate y'all for jumping on here. Honcho, we appreciate you for instigating this whole last 5-minute segment. Make sure you follow him at JumpShot8. You can follow me at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Espo at Espo. And you can follow Eric Ruby at Eric Ruby with a K. Eric with the K.
NBA Today Show. Check it out. Sirius XM, NBA Radio. I'm hosting again. Been hosting the last 2 weeks.
Who's your guest? Who's your co-host?
I don't know. We had guests. We had Rick Barry yesterday because, thoughts and prayers go out to the great Al Attles family. Passed away, 87 years old yesterday. Great Golden State Warrior. Been there his whole entire career, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah. Check
All
it
right.
out.
Well, maybe we will do it for charity. We'll see. But we appreciate y'all. Make sure you follow the Sun Show today at 3 o'clock and follow them at PHNX Suns. Till next time, we love y'all. Peace.